Well, bonjour, comment allez-vous, and je vais très bien. Hey, good to see all of you. Welcome to We Talk. All right, we hope you had a great week so far, but if you've been with us before, y'all know what we do. We make your week better. We give you that inspiration. So that's what we pride ourselves on. But anyway, before we get started, we do this every single time. It's the blessings from the gods. We have our drink. All right, so we toast up to celebrate all of you. So we are happy that you're here. We love all of you and thank you for joining us tonight. And we've got a great conversation for you. Now listen, I'm going to give you an opportunity to invite all of your friends, all of your significant others, your children, or whoever you want to invite. This is going to be a great discussion. So first, let's do this. Here's everybody on the line. Now look, last week we talked about emotionally charged people. Those people who think with their emotions, you know, how erratic their behavior becomes, how loud and boisterous they get sometimes. We talked about that, and we talked about remedies. How do we address those type of people? And how do we keep our sanity and our cool? So if you missed it, I would highly recommend that you go on my Facebook page, it's still posted, and you check it out. But this week, we're going to be in complete opposition of that, because some people, I think one of our guests asked, how do we stay cool? I guess they're referring to me and Keith. So this week, we're going to talk about people who are calm and collected, especially when they're dealing with people who are emotionally charged and dramatic. Y'all know those folks. Those folks that always got to take it up another level. Always got to, you know, expand and expound upon something so very simple. So we want to figure out, how do we stay calm? How do we stay cool? What are the secrets? All right, so we're going to get into that. But first, let me bring my co-host on so we can get it started. Y'all hold tight. Nurse those drinks for a minute. Go ahead and warm your throats, because it's going to get hot in here. Hey, Miss O'Neill.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm still surviving. No cheer.
Okay, well that's a great thing, man. I'm telling you, it's been so hot I can't think around here no more.
They
I'm telling you, this
got
weather.
heated vouchers out. Kids can't go outside. None of that.
But I'm saying this weather is excruciating. I mean,
Ain't
I
it? It's hot. It's hotter than the devil's breath out there.
Hey Keith, what's happening, brother? How are you?
Hey, OG, what's going on? The Joy, what's up? Yo, if y'all saying it's hotter out there, we
Man,
thought we was living in hell out here in Jersey, New York, Philly. Like I mean, as soon as you go outside, you can feel the beads of sweat hitting your face. You know what I'm
oh
saying?
yeah.
As soon as you walk out, get out that air in the car, get out the air, going into the store, you got sweat beads going into the store. You know, the one guy said, yo, you all right, bro? You got air in the car? I said, man, this is just me walking from the parking lot to the building. I said, he's like,
It don't
man,
take long at all. I'm telling
it
you.
doesn't. Especially when you hydrated, though. You know, when you got your water on, you know, that's what all that is, man. So look, here's a funny thing. In another few months, we're going to be talking about how cold it is.
You got that right. You got that right. From one extreme to the next.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's just the way it is. We all adapt to it, and now we get over and we get used to it. So, and get ready for the next season. But
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. I want to get into this because we had a very good discussion last week about those emotionally charged people, and I think Miss O'Neill was one of the ones that try to defend that behavior.
Don't get don't. Oh, you starting off jabbing? He's jabbing.
Hey, I'm gonna get it started.
Don't be throwing no shade, Shawty.
We gonna get it started. We gonna let them see what we made of for real. I gotta start with you, I've been doing. You know how that go.
Good thing the pots and pans can't go through the phone.
You got that right.
Don't worry, in our group chat, I'm gonna sing y'all a song.
Look, I'm already scared, so you know.
Yeah, I'm scared of DeJoya. I don't mess with her. And,
look here, I don't want that fire. I don't want none of that. Good.
No, you got it.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about how do calm people stay calm, cool, and collective when they're dealing with people. You know how you get involved with conversations, man, with people. Just got to take it to the next level. And you're like, bruh or sis, it ain't that serious. You know what I mean? But, you know, the veins start popping out their necks and their foreheads, you know, and they start spitting and all of that. I'm like, calm down. Life goes on, you know. So we want to get some understanding. Listen, people who stay calm, collected around emotionally charged people, they've learned. The key and operative word is they've learned to manage their own reaction instead of absorbing the other person's reaction. Man, that's it in a nutshell. They have learned to stay calm and manage their own reactions instead of absorbing the reactions of that emotionally charged person. You know, the central secret is this. So I'm gonna share this with y'all. Y'all take your notes, put it down so you can revisit it on another rainy day. The secret is emotional separation. They separate their emotions from the issue. And they concentrate, get this, they concentrate on the intent of the issue. How many times have you been involved with, man, listen, we get involved with these conversations and people that get all emotional, they move further and further away from the issue the longer they talk. I know I'm not the only one. I've been in a conversation. I don't argue with people no more, but I've been in conversations where I have to revert back and say, hey, remember we're talking about this. And that seems to upset them anymore. So I mean,
oh man.
Why you acting like you looking at me?
Oh man, oh man, oh man. What you just
Why you acting
said
like you looking at me?
about the separation part,
right.
That's the thing. Like, I tried to explain this to some people recently, and I said, emotions are fine. We're all emotionally, we all have emotions. People think that we don't because we're like calm and cool. No, we have emotions too, but the difference is most situations, when you break them down, there's no emotion in it. So like if you go to the store to pay the bill and your card maybe ain't working or there's an issue with the system or whatever's going on, that ain't emotional. You know what I mean? It either got to happen or it is. You pull up to the car, your car's on empty, you got to get gas. That ain't emotion, right?
Yeah.
So when you're breaking down situations, I've learned to listen very well. And I could tell by how the person's bringing whatever they're bringing to me. If it's an issue, if it's a concern, I can already tell from the beginning where the facts are, right? And then how they're bringing it, that may make me lay back even further. See, at this point, I can't get into arguments with people. I don't do that. I just shut down. So if you want to get loud and get whatever, just because you loud don't mean you right. And that's what a lot of people do. They think they're the loudest one, so they right. Just because you loud don't mean you right. And then if you talking to me, you get loud and I get quiet. That don't mean I'm like agreeing with you. I'm just quiet because, hey, what I'm gonna argue with you for? And then here's the other thing. If I already know what the answer to the situation is, or I already have the answer to the problem, or I'm figuring out or gonna figure it out, why am I gonna go all up and down like an emotional yo-yo? Right? So I think it has to do with understanding that we have to use facts and logic to solve situations, and most situations are not as big. In most cases, there are some that they're not as big as it seems. And
99.9 are not.
right. So the emotional energy that you're putting into it is like, okay, this is how I look at everything. If you down right now and you know you're gonna be up, why aren't your energy and your emotion, everything you're doing up? Because you know you're gonna end up up. You can't be down because you're down. Then when you up, you up. That ain't how you get there. And that's not how the Supreme Architect works, right? So you got to figure out your level of stability in managing that. And it takes work. It's not easy. It took me years. You know, there's times people talk, you ready to rip their throat out. And you looking like, bruh, you keep going. I'm going to pile drive you like WWE, right? But, right? I know, right, Detroit? But what happens is, see, this is the mistake people make. They think that because you calm, cool, and collected, that's not what you're thinking. Oh, no, I be thinking that too. I'd be like, I could just pile drive this person right on their head right now, and it's all over. But what does that solve? So guess what? I hold it back. I don't allow it to come in. And then when you get through it, you realize, good thing I didn't do that.
Right. Hey, but see, here's the thing. A lot of people feel if you don't meet the aggression, or if you're not as loud as they are, that's fear. They look at you as being fearful, or you in a subordinate position. No, when you're dealing with cool, calm, and collected people, they are very calculating in how they think and how they react and act. So all of those people who thinking, okay, he's quiet, he looks like he don't want the business or not, like, trust me, most of those people have already seen all the kill points. They've seen your weaknesses. They see how you stand. They see all of these different things. So you have to be very, very careful when you deal with those kind of people.
Read you like a book. Like a book. Already done read you. Yep.
Yeah, because a lot of times when we get involved in these conversations with people, it's not, to the cool, calm, and collected people, it's not about winning the argument or being one up in the conversation. The ultimate goal is to create understanding and communicate effectively. Why are you talking if you're just going to argue? If there ain't no resolution to whatever you're talking about, what is the point in talking? Now, if you want to engage in a conversation to get it started, I say just start throwing them blows instead of all that talk. Just go ahead. If that's what you're there for, you got beef or you really don't like this person because they don't agree with what you're saying. So you're going to sit there for, 15, 20 minutes, especially when you got an audience.
Where the pots and pans at? Where they at? Where the pots and pans at?
When these people get an audience, they got a whole bunch of courage when they got somebody looking at them. I'm like, bro.
Listen, I got somebody trying to push my strings right now. Only thing I have to remember is I'm a boss, because I told her, please expedite yourself out of my office as efficiently and as fast as you can, ma'am. And turned my head and kept on going. Because there's some people that push you there now. They do.
Oh, yeah. And they do it deliberately.
You there.
Hey, yeah. That's why last week when we were talking, I said, and I'm going to touch on it again tonight, you don't give people the opportunity to pull your strings. You don't give them. Because they know once you respond a certain kind of way, they know what your triggers are. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to allow people, you got to be almost Einstein to figure me out. Because you're never going to know what I'm thinking, because I'm not going to show you that. But anyway, let's move on. Let me shout out people. Hey, Reggie, little bro, what's happening? Your man, how are you? Brandon, how are you? Johnny, how you doing? Glad all of you could make it. Hey, Fletcher, glad you could make it. All right, Terrence, how are you? Lakeisha, I'm getting good at these names now, DeJoy.
Yeah, y'all, please don't have no other kind of name, cause he'll mess you up in a minute, honey.
Varnix, how are you? Okay. So we've already covered most of that. Listen, a calm person understands that your emotions belong to you. However you respond, you have the right to respond that way. Your emotions belong to you. My response belongs to me. That's exactly right. Amen. My response belongs to me. If someone becomes angry, aggressive, defensive, loud, insulting, or highly emotional, the calm person does not automatically join them at that emotional level. So they don't automatically just start screaming and hollering. So for everybody on the line, I'm trying to give you some game. When you're talking and these people ain't getting loud with you, you might be in a dangerous situation.
Here you go. Please be warned. Please be warned.
Please be warned.
Look,
That's
my silence is my warning.
Yeah.
That's
So
all.
they don't join you to put on a show for people. They don't match that energy just to put on a show. I said from the beginning, they're very calculated. And number one, listen, I learned this a long time ago. That's why I stay from around foolish people, because I know I got to put them in the dirt. I learned that a long time ago. Don't be around foolish people, because people who are foolish and don't have nothing to lose, man, that's a bad situation.
People think I'm crazy when I say that. I don't fool with you if you ain't got nothing to lose. And people take that as cockiness or, and a lot of females, but that's just a gold digger. That's just what that got to do with anything? If you don't have nothing to lose, that means one, you don't value anything. That's number one. You don't respect anything. If you ain't got nothing to lose, you need them things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, I don't understand why people don't get that. I've told you, you and I've had plenty of conversations, and I'll be like, I don't deal with people that ain't got nothing to lose. And that doesn't mean people take that as material, meaning material things and this and that. Yes, that too. But I don't deal with you if you don't have something to lose, because
they look at it, the joy, like you think that you're better than they are.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like I've had to, and we're talking about this, relating it to work, personal life, and all this, because this is for enhancements in all parts of your life. With my granddaughter, I've had to walk away from her, be like, I gotta come back and talk to you later, Malia, because baby, you about to make me lose it. You know what I mean? Even and at work too. I walk away or I say things to people because I got a whole lot to lose. I've worked 27 years to get to where I am, So, I mean, that's a big loss to me. If I lose my job, what I'm going to do? Walk out here and try to get a job? They're going to be, well, what happened after 27 years? You know what I'm saying? So, people just don't get that part. That is a key factor in your life for surviving everything.
But see, that's not emotional thinking. That's logic and reasoning. That's a maturiism. That shows that you have some maturity about yourself, because some people, how foolish some folks are. They be like, F this job, I get another one. No, you ain't.
Look, I don't care. This is my last year anyway. I don't care. Well, look, right now you was here. So you could lose it before next year. So you might be able to think about that again. Come on now.
Well, here's the best part about it. Remember, we talked about this saying a long time ago. I learned this back in like 25 years ago. Very wise person once said to me, with all this stuff we talking about, never get in a fight with a pig, because you'll both get dirty and the pig loves it.
Yep. And you don't
So we're not calling people pigs. That's not what we say. We're not calling men and women pigs, but we giving the example of what do pigs do. They roll around in the slop and do all that. never get in a fight with a pig because
And
you'll
that's,
both get dirty and the pig loves it.
I mean, they ought to think about that because how many times you clean a pig up? What do you do? Go waddle in the mud to stay cool? Well, the water gonna keep you cool, but nah, they rather that dirt, you know. But I mean, it's just crazy, with how people think, these days. I mean, and they use everything going on in the world, but to point the finger at themselves. Oh, I'm mad at Donald Trump. Well, I am too, hell, but I'm living in this world he ain't. You know what I mean? I'm mad at this. I'm mad at that. No, what you really mad at yourself?
And then if you're mad and ain't doing nothing, what's the point of being mad?
Not one thing. Not
Hey,
one thing.
DU3MNAS. Hey, David, Wayne, how are you? Who else we got? Tara, how are you? Huh? What'd you say?
I said, it's just nuts, and it's sad that a lot of all the adults in the world that act like this, they gotta be around kids. Now I'm gonna stand on business. I mean, not like Ti son now, but I'm gonna stand on my business. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of adults, and adults don't realize kids take their mannerisms and their habits and they use them. And you can't get mad at your kid when he get explosive in school, throwing chairs and stuff, because you at home screaming and hollering and yelling and throwing stuff at home. You know what I mean? You can't get mad at the monster that you're creating by your habits and your actions and your reactions to things. It's just crazy. I had to let somebody know that today. One of my employees, don't call me and complain about your situation, because listen, I'm in the same situation you is over here. I'm the boss and I'm having to watch this and I'm over here sweating and this and that. So why are you complaining about the situation? It's your job, right? Okay. That's all I say. Now, what's your job? What's the mission? So I mean, people got to keep that in mind with all that's going on with your emotions and everything like that. The mission is not to heal you. The mission is to get the job done. The mission is to move on and get to the next day. Stop sidetracking. Let's go.
I'm with you. Hey, Rilda. Ralda, how are you? Still chilling? How are you?
Oh Lord, if he
Mariah,
mess
how
y'all
are
name
you?
up, don't get emotional about it.
DJ
You
Chuck,
can't
how
help.
are you? Okay, listen. So let's get to these characteristics. Let's get to some of these secrets. So because I know most people who are emotionally charged and always thinking with their emotions, they don't want to be that way. I think out of habit and out of repetition, that becomes the habits that they've adopted. I believe that they would rather be freer because listen, when you're cool, calm, and collected, your peace is not destroyed or interrupted. So when you got to blow up, the only thing you're doing is about to give yourself a heart attack, high blood pressure, all them illnesses, all that stress. A peaceful person or a calm person has learned to not even let that interfere with their lives. So the bottom line is that they recognize the emotion without allowing it to dictate their own behavior. They recognize that you're emotional. Yeah, I see you're upset. But they don't allow the fact that you're upset to dictate their own behavior. That's secret number one. All right. This is called emotional regulation. We regulate our self-regulation. What calm people do differently than emotionally charged individuals is that they create, now check this out, I'm giving you the secrets. They create small gaps before responding. They create small gaps before responding. They don't immediately answer every accusation or provocation that's presented. They don't immediately answer to that. If you think about it, even 2 to 3 seconds can prevent you from having an impulsive response. Something as simple as that. If you take 2 to 3 seconds before you respond, it can prevent you from an impulsive response. So that's secret number 2. Calm people listen. They listen for the issue that's beneath the emotion. Instead of concentrating on the volume, the tone, or the attitude, they figure out what is really wrong with this person. What are they really trying to say? Because there's something beneath that. They don't confuse, check this out, they don't confuse disagreements with disrespect. Someone can strongly disagree with them without their identity, their intelligence, or self-worth being threatened. Hallelujah. Emotional people understand that just because you disagree with me, that does not threaten or challenge my intelligence, my identity, my self-worth, or any of that. Just because you disagree, I'm still who I am. These people are comfortable with who they are. So when we learn to be comfortable and love who we really are, then those small instances do not get us off of our game. We don't change like the weather. All right? So that's another jewel. Now, here's something that's very important, because most people who have not mastered themselves, hey, we got 6K in here. Thank you all for joining. Go tell a friend. Go ahead and click share and send your little gifts and all of those things. We love you and we want it all, and we appreciate you being here, because you could have been anywhere else in the world. Now, here's a very significant characteristic of a very calm person. They don't feel obligated to win every single argument. I'm going to say that again. They don't feel obligated to win every single argument. I know people, no matter what happens, no matter, they can be long as 2 left shoes, they will not admit that they were wrong.
Listen. When you say that, I'm at the age now, and when I say age, I mean in maturity, versus a number, where I'm not gonna let you make me tired to argue. Even though I talk a lot of mess on here. But let me tell you something. To argue, it made me exhausted. I be having hot flashes and everything already. I'm not gonna let you have to make me go in that freezer at 8 o'clock in the morning to cool off. I just have learned that.
And a lot of freezer. Some people ain't got that.
I ain't finna let you make me go in that freezer at no 8 o'clock in the morning. That thing is -1 degrees. Okay, wow. So I'm not gonna let you take my energy from me. A lot of people don't understand that anger and darkness and madness, if you believe in the power of the universe and energy, that's why you be tired. That's why everybody see a smile on my face and I laugh and talk and stuff with the children, because I ain't tired. You know what I mean?
And so, not only that, DeJoya, it comes back. It comes back on you. If you don't believe in the spiritual realm, I don't know why you don't, because
then it make your whole day bad. Like I tell Malia, we don't have bad days. We only have good days. Something good got to happen. Something good has happened out of that day. And one day somebody told me, well, what is it? I said, well, hell, you're up. Your eyes open. They could have been another way. You know what I'm saying? You could have been hurt on the way to or anything. You know what I'm saying? So there's something, even when the worst things happen, there's something out of life we got to pick up and we got to think about, oh, okay, well, you know what? It might be raining outside, but at least we got water. If my water ain't on the home, I can put a bucket outside. I mean, you may not want to think about it like that. But I mean, life is what it is. And until I let some of that anger go and things like that, my life was like a mess. My life did never change. My life was every day the same thing. So you have to get to a point where you learn to let some of that go and learn to find something good in life and understand. Don't let nobody make you have to go in your emotional freezer and a physical freezer when you don't want to cool off. Let it go. That takes too much energy.
What they say, don't let nobody steal your joy, right?
Not that part.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the strongest response is very simple. You can tell somebody, now this is what the professionals say, that you don't agree with them and you understand what they're saying. That don't work for me. I mean, I wish it did because it sounds like a very, very easy solution. If I'm ever to say that with people, now y'all tell me if I'm wrong. If someone's getting very heated, I'm saying, okay, I understand what you're saying. And I'm calm. There's no inflection in my voice. I'm not dropping the testosterone level. I say, I understand how you're feeling. I just don't agree. The first thing they say is, nah, you don't understand. You don't understand. That ain't just me. I know that can't just be me. But everybody that get heated and can't control their emotions, the first thing they want to do is tell you about you. They're telling you, you don't understand. Now, how the hell
or they want to give you a reason. Or they want to give you a reason. I was told today, I know you're going to tell me I shouldn't have said what I said, but no, you can't. They want to give you a reason as to why it's okay for them to say it. But anyway, y'all, I just want to say this. You could raise your voice anytime for me with that deep old voice. And Keith, you could raise your voice too with that radio talk voice. Go on and scream. I love it. Go on. You can raise your voice anytime. You drop that. No. Like the voice of God. No.
Ain't no need to raise your voice, man, when you chilling. You know what I'm saying? Why we got to get all loud and all of that, man? Listen, man.
Hey, see, what she's not telling you, Keith, is that deepness and that bravado, that turns her on. That's all she's saying. But
you crazy. You crazy, man. You are crazy. Mr. G is hilarious. Yeah, look, man. At the end of the day, it's very simple, man. Like, I look at things this way. For me, we got a lot of goals and dreams that all three of us on here are chasing. And we're very active in doing it. So any minute that I'm focused on something else other than that, and I didn't have to do that, now I'm taking time away from what I'm supposed to be doing. The seeds that I sowed, now I can't reap it or grow it or hit the harvest because I'm focused on the negative. And I believe that that's what Matrix, the enemy, puts out there for us. And a lot of people don't realize that negative and even emotional, that's not the supreme architect. He operates off facts and logic. There ain't no emotion in the commandments that we got. Is do this or do that, right? So if you're not doing that, are you really being godly, as we say? Like, so I learned that godliness, part of it is controlling your emotions. Because if you are, you're going to see what you're supposed to see. And sometimes in situations you're going through, it ain't even about the argument. It's about what you're supposed to get from it. Might be something you can learn. You might even get a new contact out of that argument. Who knows? Like, there's just so many variables to it. But you can block your blessings if you allow your emotions to get in the way.
That's true.
Greg, I don't had to call you to talk me off a ledge plenty of times in the storeroom. I'm hanging on the shelf in the storeroom because this and that. Sometimes, when you feel yourself going that way, do something that calms you
Yeah, you
down,
gotta step away. Yes,
or
you gotta
that you
step
find
away.
happiness in. Like literally, I've locked myself in the store, or I've locked my office, and people be knocking on the door. I just don't even look up because I know where my mind is right now. You know what I'm saying? Right at that point. So I can save myself because I'm on self preservation is always first. I'm gonna think about self first before I allow you to irritate myself. You know, and people don't realize that sometimes if you have to shut yourself off or lock yourself away and things like that, that if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. Don't ever let anybody see you, in a certain way.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
You
agree
can't,
with
you
that.
can't, you
Hell
can't, you
yeah.
can't do that.
I
I have
agree with
locked
that
myself away. I have
100%.
cut my phone off, and I'll have it on just people I need to talk to, like my kids or, my significant other or something like that. Other than that, I'm gonna shut the rest of the world off. At 3:30, when I walk out that building, I stop taking work home. I stop answering unless it's somebody that texts and say, "Hey, I'm not coming to work." I ain't gonna answer you. You know,
Well, hey, you got to protect your peace at all costs.
yeah.
That's about, or else you start losing yourself. Hey, Jerry. Hey, D Brinks, Rudy Martinez, JC Goins. How are you? Mikhail, Ishmael. How are you? All right. None of you. I guess you're saying that's none of your business, huh? Elsa, Winner. Hey, thank all of you for joining. Hey, but check this out. Because I guess I'm one of those people who really try to understand people and why they behave a certain way. As I indicated earlier, I can say, look, I agree with you. I understand you. I just disagree with you. I've never been in a situation where that conversation became, unless I directed it, unless I directed it away from that emotional point and came back. But on its own, I've never seen it get to the point of where, okay, well, thank you. I understand. I'm glad you understand. And you have the right to disagree. I've never had a conversation like that. I don't know if it's possible, but the professionals and the clinical folks that really do this psychology, they say that's the best out to say that, and it will change that conversation. Now, I do agree, if you take time and you allow yourself 2 to 3 seconds before you respond, I guarantee you that your response won't be one of impulse. And that's a good thing because you're in control of yourself, okay? Now, when they say I don't agree, they control their physical behavior. That's what calm people do. Because when people start invading your space, we all have that psychological distance that we protect. We've got that distance where you can't get too close because it's threatening, right? That's just the way that we're built. But they control their physical behavior. They deliberately keep their voice slower. And I've noticed that when I talk to people who are heated. And it's kind of instinctive where your speech kind of slows down. Now, again, a lot of people start thinking that that's a sign of weakness, or they're afraid, or they read you a certain kind of way. I'm here to tell you, those people who have mastered themselves and mastered these techniques, you don't want to fool with them because everything they do is calculated. And unlike the person who doesn't have anything to lose, these people got everything to lose. So why would I jeopardize that? Or why wouldn't I make sure I take care of business? Because I know that you don't care about any of that. So that's a logical way of thinking, in my opinion. You know, I could
I don't
be
know. I have literally had to. Y'all know me, right? Y'all know where I come from. Y'all know where
oh
I've
yeah,
been. So you know,
ready to
I have
bang.
literally listen. I have literally had to sit there with my hands over my mouth like this to keep from saying something from people because
Hey,
I know it makes them more angry for me not
look,
to say something
I'm gonna
than to say
interrupt you
something.
real quick, and I'm gonna tell Keith this. Keith, one time a while back, I mean, she was heated one day, and she called me, and I'm like, "Hey, hey, DeJoy, you got to calm down." She said, "I'm ready to rake their eyes out." I said, "Rake their."
Break their eyes out with a fork, man, bruh. I'm
Oh
telling you,
wow.
I
Oh
listen.
wow.
I done came a long way. I learned. I literally will put my hands over my mouth to keep from saying something. I would literally sit on my hands to keep from picking up something. I
Wow.
will,
Oh
and
wow.
people be looking, and they'll come in, and it just be like, just that person just irritate my soul. Like, why you gotta be yelling to the top of 10, to tell me what you got. I don't like that. Like, come at me, calm. Don't do that now. Now, literally, and he telling the truth. I told him, I said, well, she got 10 seconds. I'm going to bang her head on the side of this sink, let it fall in the water, and be
Oh
like, let me
Lord.
just get my stuff and go. He said, I'm on the way.
Yeah,
I
Oh
literally,
Lord.
yeah, I
I had to
literally,
talk her off the ledge, Keith, for
yeah.
real. It was
You
one
said
of
I'm
He
on
them
the
done had to
way?
come
situations.
up there and
Yeah.
get me. I
Wow.
literally have come a long way
Wow.
so when I can tell you this, I mean it. And so, like I said, I sit on my hand, I squeeze my feet and my shoe, whatever I got to do to keep from reacting to some people because they would irritate me that much. And if I didn't say anything, that would irritate them even more. And I'm thinking to myself, you just don't know I'm about to take this staple machine and you know what I'm saying? But I literally have
I'm glad it didn't get to that because
yeah,
that's
but I have to literally use those techniques to keep myself from at one time reacting to people.
I think people on the live need to understand this too, is that when you get into these situations, it's very easy to say, I got upset because such and such did this, or they said this, or whatever. Just because they said that don't mean you got to get mad. You got mad because you chose to get mad. So what I learned is the biggest way to control what we talking about
Yeah,
is you choose your reaction. Just because we learned as kids, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So why words hurt you now? Why are you ready to? I'm talking people in general. We so mad at this person. I'm going to get them. But what they say? What they said, the new idea I got, that ain't shit. Okay, so you upset about that? Prove them wrong and make it happen. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
why? Like
but because
so.
I tell you why people do that because they think if you don't say anything or you react calmly that means you letting somebody get the best of you. No, they got the best of you when you allowed them to take a piece of you because you had to react that way, like literally, you
Yeah,
know.
but
and you chose to
right.
react.
I
Yeah,
would just get ready to say the
It's the
best part of
choice.
it is
yeah,
not winning the argument, as Mr. G talks about. It's okay to let the person walk away from the argument thinking that they won because you didn't say nothing. That's cool. What is it that
Yeah,
you're trying to prove?
yeah,
So the person thought that I was soft. All right, well, if that's what you think, that's cool. As long as you don't come test me to
yeah,
find out that
yeah.
that ain't the truth, we good. You can leave
and
thinking that all day long. But guess what? We get out in that other element, stomp you into the dirt. So we not gonna get into that. So guess what? I'm gonna walk away and let you think, oh yeah, he don't want none of this. You know what? You right. Cause I got something to lose because I got a conference call in the next hour that I gotta get on. So I can't get in this fight with you right now. Feel me?
and like I've always said, Keith, when you're a calm person and when you
Yeah.
really know who you are and you have elevated your thinking and you understand that the spiritual realm is
Yeah.
way more powerful than your physical, it's easy to give people passes.
It
See,
is.
now, a lot of people take
It is.
that for a sign of weakness. But see, here's the way I look at it, right?
Uh-huh.
Here's the way I look at it. If I have to give you a pass, all right, and I'm going to continue to do that through my life, because I know that's the way I should be, and that's the way I'm going to keep my peace. I'm not going to stoop to your level. Now, when it comes to that time where you can say what you want, if you attack me physically, then all of those passes,
All bets are
I
off.
summons them up like energy.
Mm-hmm.
I recall every person. I can see a picture of their face. I can see the whole circumstances.
Yep.
So I go through all of that, and you gonna have to take all of that. You gonna have to feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're gonna
that's
feel what somebody else did to me. Now I'm taking it all out on you.
But it's all the same. It's all the same, right?
Yeah.
There's no difference because you got to pass. You got to pass because that was something I didn't engage in combat. I didn't engage in that argument. So now you come back, or that unfortunate individual that's on something and seeing all those passes be given, and they take it for a sign of weakness. Then we got to summons up all those demons, man.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's the power.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it did. Yes, it did. All
And
right,
here's the other thing, Mr. G. What people don't realize about people like us is if we got to go to that level, we feel bad after we did it because we already know that you ain't built for what happened, but you made us go into that space. We actually feel bad after that. Like, man, I ain't want to do them like that, but
Absolutely.
damn, I had to show them. I had to let them know. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm
Come
with you
on.
on that. I'm with you 100%.
Feel bad, like, forgive me, Lord. You know, I know, hey, man. Then you start thinking, nah, they deserve to get a knot on their head or whatever was going on. Like the Joy said with the pots and pans. Yeah, right?
Hey, but here's what I know. Now I know in the Bible, Jesus taught us to turn the other cheek. All right, but if you also read throughout the Bible, and I'm not condoning anything, and I'm not advocating anything.
It say an eye for an eye.
It does.
Shoot, I'm that's what I'm talking about.
Not only that, he made warriors. He made warriors very, very rich and powerful. Kings. What do kings and kingdoms? They have armies and they go to war. I'm not saying that's the design of it, but he understands, hey, if they hit you, you got to, sometimes it hurts and you want to make sure that they feel the hurt. So he understands that.
I mean, I just look at it like this when we talking about emotionals and all that. He said eye for eye, but wait a minute. I just understand sometimes, you know, when we're going through things and we're having to deal with people and things like that, sometimes the win is just as bad as the loss. Is what is it, a Pyrrhic victory? You know?
Absolutely.
So rather than me have that, where I can't see that my win outweighs my loss, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go in that freezer. I'm gonna go in that storeroom and call him and be like, I'm about to break our eyes out again. I'm about to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I can have that 1, 2, 3 time out. And it's nothing wrong. Once you recognize, you know, where your triggers are or where your anger is or the fault in you, and you work to fix that, I don't even get angry anymore. I don't get angry anymore. If it takes a lot for me to get, he'll tell you it take a lot now for me to get angry. And I will tell you, listen, right now I can't handle that. Right now, I need to step away. I had to do it a couple of weekends ago. Hey, I got to step away because things started making me angry. They started agitating my peace. And if you follow me, you know that it says my peace is everything. I ain't finna let nothing get in the way of it, you know? So you have to start recognizing when things are going to be, even if you win them, it's still going to be a loss. I'm trying to win all the way around. You know what I mean? So, you know, get the win-win attitude in the 7 habits of highly effective people. You know, people think that a lot of those tactics and a lot of the principles that you read in these books and, you know, from psychologists, they think they're a bunch of bullshit, but actually they help a whole lot.
Absolutely.
I mean, I pulled out my paper last week when Keith was talking about it. I was like, hey, I carry that in my bag. You know, I literally have that on my board. I'm a win-win person. I need synergy and good energy. I need this. I need that. So, just pull something out of your emotional mason jar when something happens. I call it that. I keep one of those in my office where I have only good things in the jar, and somebody coming out, I be like, you need to go to the jar. You know what I'm saying? So even if those tactics like that seem like it's a bunch of little BS and some childish stuff, sometimes they actually help, because when they do that and my employees come like that, I be like, you need to go dig in a jar. If they mad, they gonna start laughing. They gonna start laughing. So you have to learn how to turn things around so that it's effective, and that it's effective for you and does not affect you at all. That part. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, and I agree with you 100%. We're making some very good points and giving our viewers just some perspectives on how they can change things around. Now, earlier I said that these are some of the characteristics of a calm person who's mastered themselves and mastered their emotions. They know how to control their emotions. I said that they speak slower. They relax their shoulders. Their breathing is steady. You know how some people get emotional, that breathing becomes erratic. A calm person, their breathing is steady. Now I'm giving you all these jewels. You probably haven't even noticed it, but when you're in front of one of these people, you can start making note of these characteristics,
Bro, I'm telling you, I don't learn. Cause look, my feet get all the way hot up from the pits of hell. The heat come up from the bottom and go all the way to. Y'all better.
Hey, but see, let me make this point. This is what they need to understand. I'm pointing out all these physical things that you can readily observe, and the reason is this. Their speech is measured. They understand what they're going to say. They thought about what they're going to say. Sometimes they will say something because they know that they're going to evoke an emotional response from you. Now, that's not deliberately saying that they want something to jump off. That's saying that that's going to change the synergy or change the energy of that conversation. They know how to measure their speech, and they know what they're saying to you is going to change the dynamics of that conversation. They don't need standing there arguing. My dad taught me long years ago, if you stand there and talk to a fool, it'll be two fools talking. So if you know you're talking to a fool, why would you stay there and just talk to them? That makes you just as foolish as they are. But the reason I say all that, here's the most important thing. The body can help calm the mind. The body can help calm your mind. If you relax your shoulders, right? If you speak slowly, that removes a lot of stress from your life. If you breathe steadily and not interrupted with your breathing, and sometimes you can breathe too erratically and you can have a heart attack.
You gonna listen. Next he gonna have me in the storeroom, but that breathing, I'll be done lost all my energy to work. I'll be like, they gonna say, what? Why the lunch ain't ready? Well, I was in there breathing.
Nah, you're right though. Some people get so upset they be breathing hard, huffing and puffing like they you're about to like a bull. You know what I'm saying? Like they be sweating and you like, yo, relax. It ain't that serious, right? Like word, like
baby, I was there. My edges done came up and everything. By the time he got there, but I'm telling you, I was there.
Yeah. Hey, Elsa.
People don't realize.
Hey, Mitch, what's happening?
People don't realize that their health is on the other side of that emotional situation. Some people don't realize the reason they got high blood pressure is because they ain't got their emotions in order. Some people got heart issues. They got all types of stuff. Yeah, maybe they tell you that your numbers is off and this and that. But I bet you if you got your emotions right, your numbers might not be so far off.
Look, like my grandma, like our Eula used to say, When I be like, well, mama, such. Well, you know why? You the causing. And that's how she just be doing her head. I'm like, well, you know what? You the causing. So I don't like.
You the causing. Okay.
That's how she used to say it. So listen, I have learned that, I'm the cause of most of my stress or most of my whatever. And I used to get mad when people say that. But then when I go outside skipping and it's raining outside, I'm just happy. It might be raining, my hair messed up, but guess what? I'm happy, So I've learned that to do that. Don't be the causing, as Ayula Wright used to say, of your issues. That part.
Okay. That's true. That's a good lesson. Hey, Cheyenne. Hey, Oscar. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Ludwig. How are you? And Otis Henry, how are you? Tail, Roy Seegers, Denise, Angel. Man, there's so many of y'all. I can't get to y'all. I'm trying though. Hey, Lorena, user 81205. Oh my V, whatever that is. You know who I'm talking to. But anyway, yeah. We have to keep in mind that we're in control of ourselves. And a lot of times I think people really don't have the tools, or they're not in the right environment to even explore trying to change themselves. One of the most important things to remember that calm people have mastered: they don't mirror the other person's energy. As Keith just said, I ain't gonna get loud just because you get loud. That's wasted energy. I can focus my energy, reserve that for myself, and use it on something to produce a positive outcome instead of engaging in a bunch of negativity with you.
Well, here's the other thing, Mr. G. Can I say this real quick? And this is what people need to understand. When you say words, certain things you can't unsay. So the reason I get calmer, is because when that person's in that bag, I want to hear what they got to say. So now they might bring up something that, you start learning. And now you start listening.
Hey, Keith, you find out how they really feel, right?
Yeah. You are like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now when I move, I'm going to keep that in mind. That don't mean I'm going to cut you off. Now you just gave me a whole bunch of data, and guess what? Probably I most likely already picked up on it. But I was just waiting for you to say it. So now you didn't said it. And
you've got that confirmation now. That's what
I'm not gonna go to you and say why you say this or why you say that. And then tomorrow you're gonna act like everything cool or like we straight. And we are straight, because I'm not holding no animosity towards you. But I got one eye up looking like, So when they said what they said, they was mad. It's just like what they say, man. When you know how it is when people be drinking and they get all that, they get drunk and start saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? What they say, drunk heart speaks a sober mind, right?
Ain't never heard that before, but thank you.
You never heard that before? Drunk heart speaks a sober mind? Oh, yeah.
Here's what they say: if you want the truth, ask a baby or a drunk. If you you ask
now
a
wait,
child,
see that's where I gotta get to though. But that's where I gotta get
the
to.
Truth from those two individuals, a child or a drunk.
Yeah, I have to get to the point where I can say I'm gonna let it go. I mean, I let it go when people do like crazy stuff, but I mean, I'm gonna take you all the way out of my life. I ain't gonna tell you I'm gonna be cool with you. I'm gonna remember y'all. That's where I gotta get to, because I can't do it. I can't do that part yet.
No, you can and you will. You know why you can and you will? Because you're growing. And what happens is when you get into these situations, you have to look at the bigger picture of the situation. So we're talking about situations generally. Look, you're going to get in a situation with people in business who are like this, or like where you actually have to deal with these people and you're like, oh man. And if you don't navigate them emotions or whatever, you ain't going to get the job done or the deal done or whatever the case may be. And sometimes when you're the person who got your stuff in order, you got to just sit back and let them melt down. And then you got to figure out. Go ahead, Mr. G. Go ahead.
So it's a difference when you start elevating. So don't say that you can't. You ain't there yet if you believe that, but you could get there because you have the desire to do so. when you start elevating your thinking, see, most people who aren't elevated yet, they rely more on physicality. They like the thing when they look for beauty, they look at it in material things, things that they can see, touch, feel, taste, see those their five sensory perceptions. When you get past that, you can see beauty in all kind of different things at different levels, at different angles. Things are more beautiful than the things that appear in your physical presence. That's when you're starting to elevate your life. When you can go outside. Listen, I never appreciated when I was younger going to my grandmother's house and those linen curtains blowing through
Ooh,
the
the
wind.
smell of the cloth. Oh, yes.
Oh man, come on. Those things are heightened when you have elevated. Now we still appreciate it, but when you see that, when you smell that peach cobbler, that blackberry pie, you
Boy,
see her
the sweet
just
potato pie and the fresh biscuits. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, big back
listen.
coming through.
So all of those things are not just physical presence, but we rely more on things that are more intangible, things that we cannot touch. And when we start to see the beauty in the things that we cannot touch, that's when we become our higher self. That's when we start becoming a person who really understands life. As long as we see the physical, we don't understand how powerful the spiritual is. If you think about it, look at how many times people have survived, people who have done different things just based on their spiritual strength, not their physical strength. So when we become calmer, we are moving in that direction. As long as we remain hostile, as long as we are one of those people, are those people who always have to be loud, not in charge of their emotions, then we haven't gotten to that level of understanding yet. And that's what we all want to do. Part of our purpose in this life is to become better people. Why do you think as you get older, you do things differently? As a child, you do childish things, but now that I'm older, I've done away with my childish ways. That's the reason. All right, let's get back to our subject. Now, so they don't mirror the other person's energy. They can go from 1 to 100 in a second. Calm people don't follow them there. They'll stand there and look at them like, okay, now let me prepare to see what comes next. Those people who are emotionally immature, they're going to sit there and they're going to go, you go to 100, they're going to go to 200. You go to 200, they're going to go to 300. You go to 300, they're going to go to 400. So it becomes a shouting match with no purpose and no issue is ever resolved.
Nah.
You're going to fight somebody over something somebody said. They can say anything they want to say. We remember when we used to come up, when we came up, and you heard somebody say something about your mama.
Oh, Lord.
Man, that was automatically a fight, right? Don't talk about my mom. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but we understand now, okay, because you say something that make it true.
Well, I think the other part of the being cool part that you're saying is that you also learn in certain situations the way to diffuse it is to apologize even if you didn't do nothing wrong. So now when you apologize and you didn't do nothing wrong, you have full control over the situation because now that person has a choice to make. Okay, you know what? You yelling and screaming, I'm wrong, I did this, even though I know I didn't do it. You know what?
Right.
I'm sorry, Billy. My apologies. I had no idea that whatever the case may be. Now, one or two things gonna happen. In my experience, they all of a sudden get cool. They like, well, that's what I was saying. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you meant? You just wanted an apology? Okay, cool. My bad. Yep.
Yeah.
And you were wrong, but you apologized. Now the whole situation's unified again. So they feel like they won the argument, but you actually won the whole war.
Hey, that's a very, very good point, Keith.
Right, Mr. G?
Yeah, that's a very good point. So even apologizing is a tool that you can use to diffuse the situation. And as Keith just said, you're in control when you do that because number one, they aren't expecting you. When someone is used to that chaotic environment and all that drama, they're looking for the fight. So if you apologize,
Yep.
you know, it's unexpected. So they don't know how to handle that.
They don't know how to handle it. And then here's the other thing. Now you mess them up because they're saying, man, I was trying to bait this guy to hit me so I could sue him. You know what I mean? Now he ain't gonna hit me. I'm upset. Hey, what you mean? You apologize. That wasn't what I wanted you to say.
And, hey, we don't ever give them what they want. Never. Give them what they want.
Never.
Yeah. Hey Maggie. Hey Paris. Hey George. Hey I see you. T Gamage, how are you? What's wrong, Miss O'Neill? I'm saying that name right.
Anyway, thank y'all for joining and tap the screen and show us some love and hey everybody, cause woo, help
And
us.
don't forget to invite everybody. Invite all your friends. We're 1.8, so we're good. I mean 8.4. Okay. All right. So listen. Now, so they don't meet that aggression. They don't raise their voices just simply because you raise your voice, right? Here's another important point. Calmness doesn't mean that you have to tolerate abuse. See, just because you're cool, that don't mean people can just sit up there and call you all kind of MFs and OBs and all of these different.
At that point is when I want to make sure you know you can eat this stapler, but I ain't gonna do it. But I'm just saying.
But we need our listeners to understand. Just because you're calm, it doesn't mean that you have relegated your position or cowered down to a position of abuse where somebody can abuse you. Calmness does not mean that you have agreed to any abuse. A composed person, a calm, composed person might say, I'm willing to discuss this if you want, but I ain't here to argue with you. You know, that's what I'm saying. Hey, look, we can talk about it, but I ain't going to sit here and just argue with you. And then I'm gone. I'm going to step on off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's simple when you can tell when somebody's looking for a fight, right? At least I can. So I try not to give them what they want. One of the biggest secrets is not to take the bait. Emotionally charged conversations frequently contain hooks. They contain hooks, such as when you're arguing with your significant other or co-worker or somebody you're close to. One of the hooks that's used is, you always do this. Or you don't know what you're talking about. How many times I've been told that? I can't remember. You don't know what you're talking about. What's wrong with you? And my question is, ain't nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you? Right? Or you're just like everybody else. You ain't no different than anybody else. You know why they do that? The nature of that impulse is to defend themselves immediately. They want to defend their positions immediately. When they say, are you just like everybody else? That's defense immediately. I don't have to conversate about it anymore. I made that statement, and that's supposed to resonate with you. You're just like everybody else. What's wrong with you? Something's got to be wrong with you. That's a defensive position. The composed and calm person recognizes they don't have to answer every accusation. Just because you accuse me of something, I'm not going out my way to prove that I'm innocent. Because if you're lying, you already know you're lying. I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to jump up in your face and say, why are you lying? You're lying because you're foolish. So be a fool over there. You understand?
And my people that know me, they already gonna know when you tell them, oh yeah, Keith did this. I'm like, nah, that actually don't sound like anything he would do. But I hear you. Okay. And then because once again, if you know who you are, like you said, you ain't got to prove it to nobody. You can calmly stand there and say, all right, just what Eminem say, what he say on the album, Marshall Mathers LP, he said, I am whatever you say I am. And if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? You know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever you say. From the paper to news every day I am. I don't know. I guess it's just the way I am. Yeah. Mhm.
Y'all be good, cause you know me. I ain't gonna confirm or deny.
Yeah, that's why I love that Eminem song. Like,
I ain't
yeah,
gonna confirm or
what he
deny.
said. I am whatever you say I am. Yeah, okay.
You made a very important point, Keith, because people that know you, I had a situation years ago, and my real folks, when I brought it to their attention, it wasn't nothing that worried me or anything, but I'm letting hey man, this is the situation. They were, hey, OG, I ain't dealing with them either, because they should know better. So I already know. I ain't even entertaining that no more with it.
Yep.
Let's talk about something else. It's over.
Yep.
If you ain't effing with them, I'm not effing with them either.
I didn't have people come to me. I didn't have people tell me, man, I ain't even bring it to you because it was stupid. And I already know. I said, oh, you mean what you? Oh, so you knew about this? Oh, yeah. I wasn't even gonna bring it to you. What you mean? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like I already know the answer. Like, oh man, that's a G right there. Okay.
Yeah, that's respect. That's what I like right there, because I'm the same way. There's some things that I've heard that people said about people I'm next to, and I'll be like, hey, you don't need to deal with that dude no more. I don't even have to go into the conversation. They know how to read it. They already know, okay, there's something wrong with them. Let me go ahead and do what OG say and keep it moving. So,
wait, look, y'all know me. Y'all know that scene in The Color Purple after Sophia hit Squeaky, and she went in that hole, and that man closed that piano thing down, and it dinged real loud. That's me in every situation. You say something wrong about somebody, I close the whole club down. I'm gonna tell y'all now.
Denzel did that in American Gangster too.
Yeah, American Gangster. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna shut it down.
I think the biggest thing that people have to get, I'm gonna give it to you, Mr. G, is this. You got to build your confidence in life, and you got to build your confidence in yourself. You know, me and Mr. G, I was an athlete my whole life and performing arts, all of that. And I think some of my personality has always been this way, but sports, I'm a basketball player mainly, right? Obviously I play other sports, right? If you turn the ball over, the ball is coming back the other way. So you ain't got time to be worried about what just happened. You got to let it go and move on, right? So if you understand life, that's the way it goes. You can't get caught in that matrix, man, worried about stuff you can't control. You only can worry about the things that you can control, which is your actions, your attitude, right? And your personal peace. That's it. That's all you can control. What everybody else does, it doesn't have nothing to do with you. And if you're on the right path, those roadblocks, as you will, or speed bumps, are your preparation for the next level that you're supposed to go to, because everything ain't for everybody. So your blessings ain't for somebody else. So the enemy's going to throw a whole bunch of roadblocks in your way. Just like we was talking about, Mr. G, you said, right? What we was talking about? Right. You said when it's about to go down, family problems, this problem, everything's going wrong at the same time.
Everything's gonna be tested, brother.
Yes, that's exactly what you said. Everything's gonna be tested, and that's the test you gotta pass.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I'm becoming the older I get, the more I enjoy the speed bumps. Cause sometimes we be going so fast we miss stuff, we
Yeah.
miss the most important things. And I used to like say when things slow me down, "Hey, I'm tired of trying to get to this, and I'm getting slowed down, I'm getting pushed back." You know what? Sometimes we need to push back. So most times in life, we need the speed bumps and the pushbacks.
Oh yeah.
To bring
And
your
listen,
attention. Yeah,
you
huh?
you made a very interesting point because when you're going too fast sometimes, particularly in this life,
Yeah.
the things that you speed past is the key to the completion of whatever you're racing to. You understand?
Yep. Yep.
So it
Yep.
makes
So
sense just to take
yep.
your time and number one, like I always speak, if as long as you got a good heart condition, you're gonna recognize that the setbacks and the delays is for your benefit. It's not meant to punish you. Not if you have the right spirit, the right heart condition, and the right you're expecting to do something good with whatever the blessings are. If you're trying to stack up everything for yourself, hey James, hey Latrice, how are you? If you're trying to stack up everything and build a castle for yourself, then of course you're probably going to have a lot of difficulty. And even if you are successful, it don't last. That's just the way the universe works. As simple as that. Look, here's the other thing. The composed and calm person does not worry about everything they're accused of. They know with confidence who they are. Instead of defending 10 different things, they return to the actual issue. So listen, people, when you're having these conversations with people and they're talking all this yin yang and all this stuff, you can listen. Just be calm, cool, and collected, but always go back to the issue at hand. Circle back to it until it resonates, until people start addressing the issue. Because everything else is just an excuse not to address it. All that other camouflage is there so that they don't have to address it. And we don't want that. So instead of defending all that stuff, instead of escalating the conversation, a calm person say, hey, we can talk about this later. But right now, if you want to continue this conversation, I'm talking about what happened today. Not yesterday, not when I was 4 years old and I stole your lunch out of your locker and whatever you're talking about.
I mean, you got to learn to listen, but not listen. Cause
All right, explain that, please.
I mean, I do it all the time. I can listen to you. I can sit there and look you dead in your eyes, and I can listen to you. But then, at the end of the day, I'm not listening. I'm just giving you the satisfaction to think I'm listening, and I'm going about my business. You can't zoom in on everything. You can't respond to everything. You can't all of that. So I can hear you, but I take that back. I can hear you, but not be listening to you.
I was glad you clarified that because I was about to say, you got to hear everything.
I can hear you
okay.
without listening to you.
Yeah, you're just not choosing to process it in the sense of the way you're saying. Right. It doesn't, it's not resonating in your mind, but you got to listen good because that's giving you the data that you want. As the saying goes, the handwriting is always on the wall. You just got to take time to stop and read it.
And that's me. I can hear you without listening, and I do that a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Lanisha, how are you? Hey, Matteo, how are you? Who else do we have here? Hey, Javorka, Trish, and all of you. If I didn't call you out, I'm gonna get you next time. But we got 14K in here, so I can't get to you to all of you. But let me get on to it so we don't run out of time because I want to get to the end of this too.
14K or 1.4K? 14K.
14, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So now this is an extremely powerful communication skill. Now y'all take notes of this. Calm people, they distinguish understanding from agreement. They distinguish understanding from agreement. Another major advantage is to say, I understand why you're upset, without saying, you're right. You don't have to say that they're right just because you understand how they are feeling. Acknowledging someone's feelings lowers the emotional temperature because the person no longer feels they must become louder simply to be heard. When you say you acknowledge it, I don't care how mad they are, they have to lower their temperature because you're acknowledging their feelings. They aren't trying to control the other person. A calm person is not trying to control the other person, unlike some of the emotionally charged people. Now, here's the most important principle. You cannot completely control whether another adult becomes angry, offended, defensive, irrational, or emotional. But you can control whether you participate in the escalation of that conversation. You can control that because you're in control of your own self. Here are the facts. Their anger is their responsibility. Your behavior is yours. Their anger is their responsibility. Your behavior is your responsibility. So once you genuinely accept that distinction, difficult conversations become much easier. If you understand that's their responsibility and this is mine, your conversations are going to become easier. So here's an acronym that I want all of you to try to remember. And it's the acronym CALM, C-A-L-M. You want to use this acronym. The C, first thing you're going to do is control your first reaction. Not all of your action, control your first reaction. That's why you take that 2 to 3 seconds and pause before you respond so that your response is not of impulse. 2 to 3 seconds can make all the difference in the world. So you don't ever immediately respond to provocation when somebody's trying to provoke you. A, you analyze what is being said. That's what calm people do. They meticulously analyze what is being said. Separate the person's emotions from the issue at hand. Separate the person's emotion from the issue. L, lower your voice and slow your words. Lower your voice and slow your words. Don't compete with emotional intensity. You're not there. You're not emotional. You're logical. You're mature. You're a thinking individual. So you don't compete with emotional intensity. And M, maintain your boundaries. I don't care how heated that conversation is. Maintain your boundaries. You can remain respectful while refusing to be insulted. You don't have to take insults. You don't have to have people shouting at you, manipulation, or, endless arguments. You stand there arguing with people who are foolish, you're just wasting your time because the results are going to be a big fat goose egg. So don't do that. You don't have to. Maintain your boundaries. You know how far to let a person go, and you know what you would accept. Now, here's the real paradox. Calmness, y'all hear me? I'm tapping on the chalkboard, pat my feet. Calmness is more powerful than aggression. Keith pointed that out. What did he say? I forgot, but it was so good it hit me in my spirit. Calmness is more powerful than aggression. Y'all go back and listen, hear what Keith has said. I can't remember, but it was a great illustration. When one person is losing emotional control and the other remains composed, the composed person usually has greater control over their own decisions, their own words, and direction of the conversation. So you think that being aggressive, that you're in charge and you're in control. Here's the truth of the matter. Calmness is more powerful than aggression. All right. The goal isn't to become a person who doesn't feel emotion. The goal is to become someone who can feel anger, frustration, disappointment, or irritation without automatically handling those emotions with your mouth and your behavior. Without handling those emotions with your mouth or your behavior. Now, here's the real secret before I conclude. Feel it, recognize it, and then choose your response rather than allowing the emotion to choose it for you. So recognize when people are emotional, feel it, and then choose your response rather than allowing that emotion to choose it for you. It's as simple as that, people. Now, I'm going to open it up to my panel. Keith, Dr. Joy, y'all got anything to say before I close it out?
Nah, you go ahead. This is a good topic. There's a lot we could say. We could do a part 2 on this one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we probably will because I didn't get a chance to finish. But anyway, in conclusion, being calm and collected when dealing with emotionally charged people is not a sign of weakness or lack of feelings. You know, a lot of people feel that people who are non-emotional, they don't have any emotions at all. No, they've mastered how to control their emotions. That's the difference. It is a sign of self-confidence, self-control, emotional intelligence, and discipline. That's what that is. Calm people understand one thing. They understand that they cannot control another person's emotions, but they can control their own reactions to them. Let me say that again. A calm person understands that they cannot control another person's emotions, but they can control their own reaction to them. Now, ultimately, the person who maintains control of themselves has the greatest power in a difficult conversation. The person who maintains control of themselves they have the greatest power in a difficult situation. True strength is not shouting louder, of not being boisterous, of not being aggressive. That's not true strength. Or even having the last word. That's not true strength. It is being able to stand in the middle of someone else's emotions. This is true strength. It is being able to stand in the middle of someone else's emotional storm without allowing that storm to become their own. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Hey, this was another great one. We enjoyed it. We hope that you enjoyed it. And thank all of you for joining us. We want y'all to share, like, and comment and send us hearts and all these things because we definitely love you. And all I'm going to say is we'll see you next Wednesday. Same time, same place. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, au revoir, and we'll see you all next Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. We love you.
All right, guys.